Getting a good picture up? No, I'm just kidding. You need to get me up there? Oh. Good morning, everyone. Enjoying coffee and commerce? Yeah. My name is Winton, Steward, and I'm Google's head of external affairs here in Ohio. I'd like to thank you all for being here this morning, and thank you, Chamber, for hosting us today. Thank you, Steve Stivers and company. You all just did an amazing job partnering with us on this and making sure today was all we'd hoped it'd be. So we really appreciate you and just love what you've done with the space here. Looks amazing. I know that you all recently also just did the 7th floor as well. Love seeing what you all have been doing here, growing, and then helping businesses grow as well. So thank you all for your partnership. Looking forward to working with you all at the Chamber in the future. Now, Google has been proud to call Ohio home since 2019. When we first broke ground in New Albany, some of you were at that groundbreaking and you got the hard hats to prove it. And we hope that you get some new ones in the future at that. And since then, we've only continued to grow and invest in the state with new data centers, career opportunities, and local partnerships. And to emphasize Google's impact in the state, we have a short video presentation to share. And this is the first time it's been seen, so we hope that you all enjoy it. I've been talking it up, actually, and so I think it's going to be really, really awesome, and please enjoy.
Having Google in Ohio means more jobs, more innovation, and a stronger community.
Google's data center campuses have helped the local economy advance in a number of ways. As they became an advocate for the area, as they spent their money and hired their people, they obviously helped us tell our story around the world that this is a terrific place with terrific talent.
We all want to make a difference in this world. What Google said is, we are going to put our money where our mouth is and partner with agencies like the National Center for Urban Solutions to provide free training in the community.
Being a Buckeye, it's in my blood. My parents met at Ohio State. Serve my country, I get into commercial construction, and I find this data center work, and now I can really affect change. That's really important to engage the community and showing that, hey, there are jobs in the tech industry that are available to everyone.
Well, with the Google data centers coming into the Central Ohio region, it's really great for the small business environment in Columbus.
The ripples of that will go out and impact so many communities that have not had those opportunities presented to them.
Thank you. We are just so excited to continue partnering with organizations in Ohio in such exciting ways. And thank you to all the partners that you saw in the video. Some of you are in the room today as well. Thank you so much. And before I get off and hand it over to Steve Stivers, I just want to recognize a few folks for being here. Governor DeWine, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for your leadership in the state and your vision, and we look forward to working with you in the future. Congressman Balderson and Congressman Carey, thank you so much for joining us today. I know it's busy in Washington, but thank you for making the trip up. We really appreciate you all's support and leadership as well. Steve Stivers, thank you for being a great partner and a friend here at Google, or for Google. Your support over the years has been greatly appreciated. Like I said, love the building. Thank you for being a great host, and so glad to be on stage here at Coffee and Commerce. And finally, I want to thank all the elected officials who walked over from the Capitol today. Really appreciate you being here. All of the city officials in the room, all of the county elected officials who are also here today. And like I said, our community partners, just thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to the President and CEO of the Ohio Chamber, Steve Stivers.
Thanks, Winton. It's great to have Google in Ohio. We really appreciate your presence. I want to welcome everybody to the Ohio Chamber of Commerce. This is a great building right across from the Capitol. Great place to convene events just like this. Just a couple weeks ago, we kicked off and opened up our 7th floor here, expanded to the 7th floor, added about 6 new offices for all the growth we have at the Ohio Chamber, which is super exciting. And speaking of expansion, it is great to have Google continuing to expand right here in Ohio. Today's announcement is really positive news for the Ohio business community and for jobs in Ohio. So I want to thank Google for their partnership. You're a great member of the Ohio Chamber of Commerce, but you're also a great business that we are excited is doing business right here in the Buckeye State. At the Ohio Chamber, we have a simple and compelling vision, and that's to make Ohio the best place to do business anywhere in the world. The governor is making good on that, and he's really making Ohio grow with a lot of announcements, including the announcements today, and we expect to see a lot of those continue. Ohio has a lot going for it. We have a low cost of living, a great high quality of life, and we have an amazing workforce. And we are excited about continuing to move Ohio forward. We kicked off a few months ago the blueprint for Ohio's economic future, which is about making sure we can make Ohio the best place to do business in the world. It's going to focus on innovation and collaboration. It's going to focus on the workforce of tomorrow. And that's a lot of the things that we're going to be talking about today. You know, Google's expansion in the state will not only help us accomplish those goals, but it will help us accomplish them much faster than a lot of other states. I want to thank Google for everything that you're doing to make Ohio better and to invest in Ohio. Thank you for that, and welcome here today. I want to give a couple shout outs to a couple mayors that are here because they came here from their communities. Mayor David Scheffler from Lancaster, thanks for coming up, and Mayor Spalding from New Albany, thanks for being here. They represent 2 of the big expansions that we're talking about today. I get a chance to introduce somebody that I voted for president of the Ohio Young College Republicans back in the 1980s. He didn't win that election, but he's had an amazing career as chief of staff to Senator Rob Portman. He was in the private sector before that and returned and has done a great job, has been with Google, head of U.S. public affairs for the last few years, and Google's doing amazing things like investing in Ohio. So I'm going to give Mark Isakowitz all the credit. Come on up, Mark.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. I have to start on a personal note. Yes, I am head of government affairs for U.S. and Canada for Google. I'm based out of Washington, but I was born and raised in Cleveland, went to school at Ohio State, and got my start in public service by being a page in the Ohio Senate with Steve Stivers. And as you were introducing me, I reflected on if I would have said 15 years before Google was even created, that we'll be back here in the year 2023 announcing an expansion of a company called Google. And there will be a little search box you can put in what you're interested in, and the information will come out. You would have thought I was crazy, and we never would have gotten there. But this is a bit of a reunion for me. So thanks for being here, Governor. Thanks so much for your leadership and your partnership. And I was able to say that to the Lieutenant Governor earlier. Congressman Balderson, Congressman Carey, good to see you again, and excited to be expanding in your districts. And then, Steve, thank you so much. And the community leaders from Columbus, New Albany, and Lancaster, thank you so much. Okay, let's get to the business of the day. Tech is helping to grow Ohio's economy. We're very proud of that. It wasn't long ago. I was here, Troy, for the New Albany announcement. We were excited. And today, that data center provides jobs to Ohioans, and also, in terms of what happens inside the data center, it houses incredibly sophisticated technology that helps power Google tools for users across the nation and worldwide. In addition to New Albany, in 2021, we announced land purchases in Lancaster and Columbus for future growth opportunities. And today is an announcement that is the next part of that journey. So I'm here today to announce the exciting news that Google is turning both the Columbus and Lancaster sites into fully operational data center campuses. So we are excited to do that. And yeah, go ahead. Here's an applause. So just as I was saying to the governor before we started, just to put that in perspective, we have data centers in 13 states and 9 countries, and we're going to have 3 operational data centers right here in central Ohio. So that's really exciting. So as the video foreshadowed, it puts our investment in the state at over $2 billion, and it reinforces the significant role I just mentioned in terms of our whole system. Data centers like these are critical to Google's future investment in cloud and artificial intelligence. Once completed, these campuses will continue to power not only AI innovations, but tools that you use every day, like search, like Gmail, and like Maps. But we don't just want to invest in the states we call home. We want to be good neighbors in your communities, and your feedback on that makes all the difference. On the economic side, Google helped provide $13.91 billion of economic activity for tens of thousands of Ohio businesses, nonprofits, publishers, creators, and developers. Just stuff you see online every day in terms of business profiles and low-cost advertising and things that help. I was just reading in our economic report about a quilt maker here in Ohio who can find their customers, and their customers can find them through our tools. On the philanthropy side, Google.org has awarded more than $5 million in grants to Ohio nonprofits and organizations, while our local employees have donated an additional $1 million to causes they deeply care about. These are just a couple examples of the ways we are partnering with local organizations. And thank you again for allowing Google to be part of the community. We've done it with Columbus City Schools. We've done some other announcements. We did with the Lieutenant Governor last year. We did something with 4-H on computer science education. And we really want to lean in, Governor, on doing it. Cannot do it without your partnership and your leadership. So very grateful for that. So it's my honor to give to you the Governor of Ohio, Mike DeWine.
Mark, thank you very much. Google's announcement today is more good news for the state of Ohio. You look at this and some things are obvious. A lot more construction jobs. We're very, very grateful for that. More jobs there, more contractors' jobs. And then having Google as a partner in the community means a lot. Mark was talking about what Google has done in regard to really education. And we're very, very grateful for that. I know they just made an investment in Columbus City Schools, and we're grateful for that. But this also, it's about all of these things, but it also sends, I think, a signal. Mark talked about 3 locations, data centers, that are close proximity right here in Ohio. I think that says a signal about where Ohio is going. We have a lot of things going for us in the state of Ohio. Some are by nature, the water, abundance of water that we have, our location in Ohio. But some are things that we have worked on. We've worked on, frankly, with the legislature for a number of years, and not just in this administration. But a good business climate is certainly very, very important. The most important thing going forward, and the most important thing today, is people. Woody Hayes, our former Ohio State coach, the late Woody Hayes, said you win with people. And I think Google's announcement today is a recognition that we have the people in the state of Ohio. And it's a continuing process, and we have to continue to work on that. And the truth is that when you put smart people together and educated people together, guess what happens? They attract more smart people and educated people. And we are getting that critical mass here in the state of Ohio that is so very, very, very important. The budget that we have presented to the General Assembly, and we've had great support with the General Assembly. The budget we have presented is really all about people. It is an investment in people. It is another significant investment in our community colleges. It's another investment in our high schools and career tech, and investment in higher ed as well. So, Mark, we're going to continue to invest in our people because we know that really is what makes the difference. And we're so happy with this announcement. Sends a great, great signal. 3 locations, data centers. It tells us something about what you think we're doing in Ohio. And we're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to invest in our people. This state has a great, great, great future. We're on the roll, but we have to continue to do that. These things don't happen by themselves. They happen by what we do, and we're going to continue to do that. We appreciate the partnership with you very, very much. Let me introduce now Congressman Troy Balderson. Troy is doing a great job for us in D.C. Troy?
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Governor, for that nice introduction. And I don't speak for Mike much, but I will say we much rather be here than in Washington, D.C. for announcements like this. So it's a true joy to be here. As Mark said, I had the opportunity to be at the first Google opening. I got to share this story because it kind of got a little bit of attention, but I'm pulling into the site in New Albany, and I see my buddy's dumpsters there, Waste Away. Seth Ellington, Newark, Ohio guy, small business guy. And when we're out in the district, we hear from our constituents sometimes said, hey, are they going to hire locals? And it made me feel so good that Google was actually hiring locals using local companies. I picked up the phone and called Seth and said, hey, man, you're out here at Google. Waste Away's there. I said, I see about 6 or 7 dumpsters out here. And he proceeded to say to me, Troy, there better be 9 out there. So anyways, thank you, Google, and Mark, and you and I have developed a great relationship, and obviously through my wonderful chief of staff and with Terry and your relationship that you had with her under the Rob Portman days. It's great. Google was one of the first tech companies to recognize Central Ohio's potential. Your commitment to this community has led the way for others to make investments here. It speaks volumes about the state and the pro-business environment and skilled workforce we're trying to create here with a company like Google. Is choosing once again to keep investing in our local communities and the talent that we have in these local communities. Lieutenant Governor spoke this morning about technology as the future, and it sends an incredible message to our kids, which is important to me, and our communities that we don't have to go to California or to the East Coast for high-paying jobs in technology. Central Ohio offers the same and better opportunities for those technologies to be driven here. And I understand that tech is important for everybody, but it's especially important for the rural communities and areas like parts of my district that I currently serve, along with some of the bigger cities. Last year, Google partnered with 4-H, and that was something that Mark brought up, Steve brought up. I'm an old 4-H'er. I know what this system is. I know how important it is. These kids are structured. It's disciplined. I hope that we can raise that level of acknowledgement of how 4-H gets our kids ready for the future, and I want to keep making sure that all of you understand that. As part of this grant, experts at Ohio State are helping develop 4-H's national e-learning initiative that will help bring computer science education to almost 6 million students across the country. That's being led right here in Central Ohio. I know the data center in New Albany is already doing amazing things. Mayor and I both see that, and I can't wait to see what Google's multi-billion-dollar investment in Ohio means for Lancaster and Columbus. Congratulations, Google. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this opportunity, and it's my honor now to introduce my colleague, Mike Carey.
Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. What a great day for Central Ohio, but I'll tell you, seeing that Columbus is on that list, and I've seen so many people that are from the city, it is wonderful to have you in Columbus, Ohio, and I want to thank you, Google, for your investment. The continued investment that you have put into Ohio is an amazing example of what the state has been doing to lead into the high-tech world. And Governor, thank you for your leadership. Very much appreciated. And I also want to give a shout out to my predecessor, former Congressman Steve Stivers, for all the work that he has done, not only when he was a member of Congress, but also what you've seen he's done with the chamber. Many of you know Steve and I probably met 30 years ago, a little bit sooner than when you, Mark, and Steve met. I'm a little bit younger. But Steve was a first lieutenant, and I was a second lieutenant. And I'll tell you what, I've been following his lead ever since, and just really appreciate the work that you've done with the chamber and your work with Google. Google has been an integral part of the community. And one of the things I wanted to highlight, particularly from the standpoint of what Google is doing for the city of Columbus. And I know my dear friend, State Senator Herschel Craig's over there, and I see Michelle Reynolds is in the back over there. Columbus City Schools are something that's very important to those of us that live in the inner city. And I think Google's investment of $100,000 to boost the career technical education pathways for middle schoolers is certainly something that we'd like to see more of from a lot of the other businesses. And Mark, really appreciate your efforts. I know you highlighted that. I also wanted to mention, the partnership that we've done with the state. I know the governor's been an integral part of that, but so is the legislative body. And I think I saw Speaker Stevens walk in just a minute ago. There he is. Thank you. Thank you for coming as well. The inspiration that Google is doing for the city schools will also increase the number of students who will want to remain in Central Ohio or remain in the city of Columbus. And I think if you look at downtown Columbus, you see the growing number of housing starts. We welcome all your employees to downtown Columbus, Mark. We really do. I want to thank Google for believing in Ohio, and especially Central Ohio, and as well as our great city of Columbus. And we look forward to continuing to work with you and partner with you. And now I'd like to hand the mic off to Winton for closing remarks. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you again all for being here, and a special thanks to the governor, special thanks to Congressman Balderson, Congressman Carey. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Steve, for hosting. And like the governor mentioned, it takes people to do what we've done here in the state of Ohio. It takes people to continue to grow in the state of Ohio, and we wouldn't be able to do what we've done thus far without all of you in the room today. So many partners and friends. So thank you all. We look forward to innovating beside you, growing beside you, and we look forward to another event like this, hopefully in the future. You all enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.